Hey guys, this is the reviewer here, and we're at like 8 subscribers now, which means we've like multiplied our subs from last video by like 8, which I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. I guess you guys liked Unbreakable Review. That might have been better than Green Mile. So I really actually appreciate that support. So if you see these, like, please subscribe. So I just reviewed Unbreakable with the new Glass movie coming out. I feel like it's only appropriate for me to review Split as well. At this point, Glass just came out a couple days ago. I still haven't gotten a chance to see it, but I hope I can see it soon. In the meantime, I'm going to be talking about Split today. And I actually hadn't seen this movie until pretty recently. And I just want to give you guys a spoiler warning because I'm about to start talking about spoilers. So this is a movie that came out in 2016. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. This is kind of his comeback after all like the crap he put out. And has James McAvoy as Kevin Wendell Crumb. It did really well in the box office, actually. It made like a ton more than it cost to make. So in this movie, Kevin Wendell Crumb has like 23 different personalities. And I don't think it's revealed which one. It might be Dennis. But one of the personalities captures 3 girls after what I think it's a birthday party. And apparently he's been stalking these girls for like a couple days now, and he locks them in like this room. We don't really know anything about the room. It's just like we know that he locks them in there. And so while this happens, some personalities email the psychiatrist who, she's kind of just there for exposition. Like throughout the movie, she's just like pretty much just explaining stuff that will happen later. So she's really just there for like exposition and stuff. And so as the movie goes on, we see there's one of the girls that he captured. Her name's Casey, and she's really like observant. And we actually learned that when she was little, she was abused by her uncle, which I'll talk about more that later. And so throughout the movie, we see only about like 8, 9 of the different personalities that Kevin has, and James McAvoy freaking knocked this out of the park. Like, he just nailed this. Like, that's a really hard assignment. Like, asking him to do all these things, and he just totally knocked it out of the park. And so I guess the climax of the movie is that one of the personalities is a beast, or like the Horde. And I guess the doctor, with all the exposition, explains this. But like, if your mental state is that you're a beast, then like your physical state goes with that, which I thought was pretty like clever, like a clever way to do it. And so it ends that the other 2 girls, like other than Casey, are killed off. And then so the beast is about to kill Casey, but then he sees that Casey has scars. I think we're supposed to assume they're from her uncle, but they could also be from like her time at the place where the beast kidnapped them. It could be either. And he kind of like backs away, and then he kind of runs away, so the cops never actually find him. And so I kind of like how they brought that home. I thought that was a good way to just circle everything. So I'll start talking about the good of this movie. So the ending, like I just said, the ending's awesome for 2 reasons that I want to talk about. The first one is pretty obvious because I guess it's kind of like a Marvel end credit scene that Bruce Willis is shown at the end, which it ties this to Unbreakable, and I love Unbreakable. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, like I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy. They're tying this to Unbreakable, that had come out like way before this, and so like I didn't really know what was up until I found out like that they were doing a superhero universe with all them. And so the other thing about it, it's a little more subtle and a little more dark. But like at the end, where Casey, like she's kind of messed up after everything that's happened. Like she was captured by this guy, who like turned into a beast and almost killed her. But the cop comes over and he's like, "Oh, your uncle's here," and she just gives this look that is terrifying. Like she just looks like, I do not want to go back. And it's kind of chilling, and like watching the movie, it really hit hard. And so the other amazing thing, I talked about this earlier, is James McAvoy freaking knocks this role out of the park. Like, imagine being told that you have to be a personality acting as a different personality. Like that is insane stuff. I thought it was really. I loved it. Like he was just so awesome. And so I guess some of the mixed stuff about this movie was I guess the writing, the pacing kind of comes to mind. Like the story and like the premise and everything is pretty interesting. Is pretty interesting. Like the execution, it's a little bland because really like the whole movie is just the girls are captured, and that's all that really happens. So the movie can feel a little slow, especially when it's like 2.5 hours. That's the only thing that comes like to mind for just okay. And so like I'm trying to think of like negatives for this movie, and there's not much that comes to mind, except like some of the characters kind of become filler characters after like the first act of the movie. Like the doctor's really just there to explain stuff that's gonna happen later, and Casey's really the only one that matters out of the three girls, and so the other girls are just kind of there. And so the movie really just felt like it was all Kevin and Casey like as it went on, which is fine, but it just felt like those other characters were a little in the way. Overall, I think this movie's pretty solid. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, and I'm super excited to see how Glass like culminates these two movies. Thanks for anyone who watched this video, and if you liked it, consider subscribing because I love the support. And thank you so much for watching, and expect a Glass review in the near future.